it's me. It's a full moon out there tonight. I got the Lagu rune and the dishonesty oracle. The Lagu rune is one of my favorite runes. It reminds me of the star card in this particular gig, I work backstage with touring artists and specifically the tour manager at an event venue. And the artist that was there that night that I worked was a magician. There's a monitor that we have backstage in the green room that oversees the audience and the stage, so that we don't literally have to be backstage. We can be in the green room and listen and watch the show. It's not HD, so the quality is kind of grainy, but it does the trick. We can monitor the stage from the green room. And I was writing this reading down actually in the green room while glancing up at the telly every now and again to watch the show. And at some point I was really confused about what he was doing because it didn't look like magic at all. He was talking to the audience and I wasn't sure if he was directing them to somehow be part of the act or pretend to be entertained. I'm sure that he was directing people, like engaging with them in his own way, but people were going, ooh, gasp. And I didn't understand why. And then it dawned on me that the monitor that I was watching from, that the tricks did not work for that monitor. The tricks and illusions or whatever it was that he was doing only worked from the audience perspective. It only worked from that angle, and the camera was on another angle, or it didn't have whatever cloak illusion it is that they were having down there on the stage. And I could see literally everything that they were doing. That's why I didn't get it at first. So that is what I am hoping to do with this reading for you. I want my words to somehow be a catalyst towards a change in perspective for you. Which I was talking to somebody yesterday and I'm not even sure if that's possible, because you can change the clothes you wear. You can start buying all new clothes. You can learn more stuff. You can hang out with completely different people. You can travel. You can go on trips. I find that's a really good way of coming back and with a changed perspective. But you will always have your own perspective. So changing it by will is, I'm not sure if that's possible. You just have to let things water. If you just have to let things run their course before you can start switching gears in there. So the two questions I have, the two journal prompts I have for you. What's catching up with you? When we talk about dishonesty, it's about it's not the light catching up with you, it's the light eroding and the truth catching up. So what truths are catching up with you? Don't confuse heart